If you're buying a home in Temple, Belton, anywhere in Bell County, your job is not to find the maximum amount that the bank will lend you. Your job is to find a great home in a price point that gives you a comfortable monthly payment. I'm Taylor Dash with EG Realty. I bought my very first home in Temple, Texas. In this video, I'm going to go over the 28-36 rule, the 4 programs that every first-time homebuyer should compare whenever they're buying a home, and 1 mortgage program that put money back in my own pocket whenever I owned my first home. So the 28-36 rule. So that rule is that your monthly housing payment should stay under 28% of your gross monthly income. And then your total monthly debts, your house, your cars, credit cards, whatever you have, should be no greater than 36%. That is the rule, and that's what protects you from being house poor. So let's do the math here. If your household income is $7,000 per month, that equates to about $84,000 per year. So 28% of that is going to be around $1,960 per month. So that is going to be where you want your housing payment to be. That needs to include principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, PITI. Central Texas has higher taxes, so the PITI here is a lot higher than some people may think. But at today's rates, if you want to stay around the $1,960 per month mark, you're going to be in the $260,000 to the $280,000 price range in Temple, which will get you a really great property. And then here's what matters. Once you start getting up to that 32% of your annual income is going to housing expenses, you start getting into that house poor territory. You may have a nice kitchen, you may have a nice bathroom, but you're not really able to do anything else besides live in the property. So the question to ask your lender is not how much can I buy? The question is how much can I buy or I can still go on vacation, save a little bit of money, invest a little bit of money, and then take care of any repairs that may go wrong without putting myself in financial distress. The second biggest mistake that I see first-time homebuyers make is that they think that the FHA loan is their only option. There are 4 different options that you should compare whenever you're thinking about buying a home. So those options are FHA, VA, USDA, and conventional. So FHA first. The down payment requirement is 3.5%, but they do have some down payment assistance programs. With this loan, they are more flexible on your credit score. I believe it's around 580, but you can go lower if you put 10% down. The catch with FHA is that you have to pay private mortgage insurance for the life of that loan. So if you get 25% equity in your property, normally the private mortgage insurance goes away, but with FHA, it stays until you refinance the property. That PMI adds real money to your monthly payment. FHA could be a good fit for you if you are rebuilding your credit or if you have a low down payment. The VA loan, if you are in the military, this one is for you. This is, I think, the best loan product. 0 down, no monthly PMI. There's a 2.15 to 3.3% funding fee that can be rolled into the loan. The downside with the VA loan is that they are selective on the properties that they will lend on, so it has to be in pretty good condition, which if you're wanting to get a really good deal, it's not ideal because you're gonna have to be making offers on properties that are in better condition. But that's also why you get with me, because how are you gonna know if it's gonna go VA or not? I'm gonna get you set up. All right, let's keep going. Conventional, this is typically the strongest play if your credit is good. If your credit is good and you have a higher down payment. So you can get in a conventional loan with only 3% down. They have plenty of programs as well. And then with a conventional loan, you have to pay private mortgage insurance until you hit the 20% mark. And then that private mortgage insurance will drop off and you don't have to keep paying it like the FHA loan. This loan also has 0 down payment. There is a income limit, so if you make over a certain amount of money, you won't qualify for the USDA loan. This is a great loan for somebody who is open to living a little further away from everybody else in a more rural setting. The main thing with the USDA loan is to confirm the property eligibility prior to going to see the house. There's hardly any in this area that will go USDA. All right, the bonus. This is the mortgage credit certificate. This is a tax credit that you get. So I had this on my very first home. You get up to $2,000. It's like 40 or 60% of the interest that you pay over the year, but it always turned at the max is 2,000, and that's always what I got. So whenever I was a firefighter, I would get a lot more money back, 2,000 more every single year. There are income caps and there's price caps, but for the right buyer, this is a great benefit. Listen, I'm not a lender. I'm not gonna say, every program works for every buyer, and I'm not gonna go into too many details. I do have a great lender. I say if you're looking at purchasing a home, you wanna get started around 3 to 6 months ahead of time, depending on the type of person that you are. I do like 1 month ahead of time, and then I'll start looking for a month. The next month, I'll be under contract on something. But I work with a lot of first-time home buyers, and typically it's between 2 to 4 months. Great time to reach out, get pre-qualified. The pre-qualification will typically last 4-6 months. So I love teaching my first-time home buyers the process, and then how to navigate the process in the most professional way, where you're still getting a good deal, but also getting a property that is a great fit for you. So here's the playbook. Run the math on your real income, 28, 36. Figure out your comfortable PITI, not your maximum. Compare all 4 loan types. Don't default to FHA. Ask about the MCC, and then shop for your payment, not for the max that the lender tells you you can buy. Listen, I love working with first-time home buyers, so I'm going to start doing a segment on my channel for first-time home buyers. Next week, we're going to do the top 5 neighborhoods for first-time home buyers in Temple, Texas. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, like, and if you are buying in Temple, Belton, Bell County, reach out to me. I'm helping people just like you every single day, and I would love to have a private conversation about your goals for your purchase here in Bell County. I hope y'all enjoy this video. Let's get it.